Alrighty then, welcome back to Universe X. And it has been a couple days. Personal stuff, don't worry about it. We're gonna dive right back into Dragon Ball content and keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? So, today, as you guys may have seen by reading the title with your eyes, is actually a video on the new future Gohan archetype. And I'm gonna be transparent as possible. There's a reason why I wasn't as hyped about this one when it comes to the two Gohan archetypes, because this isn't necessarily a Gohan archetype. This is a Trunks archetype in disguise. And I don't like the sneakiness. I thought future Gohan, I was like, we're about to get it. And then I realized it was just pretty much like the birth of Super Saiyan Trunks. Day. But I'm definitely down to show you guys what's up, because you know that's what we do on the channel. So as per usual, thank you guys for the support. Still going strong on the road to 1K. I'm about to pick up the speed a little bit, and we're just having lots of fun. Got some other collabs planned, so keep your eyes out for those. And if you haven't joined the Facebook channel, you probably should. Facebook group, because it really do be the biggest conglomeration of info for our card game. And then if you want to jump in and chat with the other fans of the channel, the Discord link is going to be in the description. Last but not least, there are a couple winners I have not heard back from the Metal Leader giveaway, so I'd like you guys to look in the link if you joined and just make sure that you didn't miss your name, because I want to make sure I get all those out by the end of the week. Now, moving into the actual meat and potatoes, we're going to jump right in and talk about the leader. We got Son Gohan. When this card attacks, draw one card. Auto burst 3. When one of your yellow battle cards with a blocker skill is KO'd, draw 2 cards, then add up to cards to your hand from your life until you have 6 life, and then flip this card over. So early awakening, as long as the blocker can get killed. Yellow battle cards with blocker, sorry. And then awaken. When your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 1 card, switch up to 1 of your energy to active mode, and flip this card over. This is interesting to me. I kind of like the fact that it has, well, I don't necessarily like the fact I wish it untapped even on its blocker kill, but I do find it interesting how this card has different awakening effects depending on whether you do the cheat way or the normal way. So that's pretty cool. Going on to the backside of the leader, we have SS Son Gohan, Hope of the Resistance. Auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card, then you can choose up to 1 of your yellow future Trunks cards and it gains plus 5,000 critical for the turn. Auto, choose 1 of your yellow Trunks future cards when your opponent attacks and switch the chosen card to active mode. It gains plus 6,000 power for the turn. Negate this skill for the turn. Okay, this is interesting because this has an offensive ability when it attacks, but it also has a defense ability when your opponent attacks. So the mileage you're probably going to get on this card, seeing the way the archetype is built up, is actually pretty high. That was the thing that scared me the most when I first looked at it. I was like, this leader doesn't do anything on its own. It requires you to have Trunks cards on board. But looking at the way this is set up, this may not be a bad thing. But that's for you to decide, so I'm going to keep going with the archetype, see what you think. The next card is a 1-drop Son Gohan, Warrior of Hope. Permanent. When your life is at 6 or less, this card gains blocker. So this is not the dude that you're awakening from, because, well, I mean, you can. You definitely can awaken at 6. But this guy can't be played on turn 1 and have blocker. Auto for your leader card is a Son Gohan future card, and you place 1 card in your drop area from your life. When this card is played from your hand, play up to 1 yellow Trunks future card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck, then shuffle your deck. That's actually pretty neat because you don't have to play from your hand. You play this guy and he's a -1, and then you add another card to your field. So you're technically plussing in terms of card advantage. But yeah, I think that's actually pretty neat. You got the next Son Gohan. He's another 1-drop. Auto, if your leader card is yellow, when this card is discarded from your hand by an opponent's skill, play this card from your drop area. Auto, when this card is played, draw 1 card. Okay, I'm digging that. So it's really cool that when he gets played, he just breaks even. And then if you can somehow get him out of the hand due to your opponent's effect, and there are a fair amount of discarding effects in the game right now, you are going to be able to just make a free body and then just draw 1. So it kind of is cool. You break even no matter how you get him out of your hand, whether you play him or whether your opponent rips him. You just can't combo him or anything. Now you get this 1-drop Trunks, the one that's going to get fetched off the 1-drop Gohan. Trunks, Warrior of Hope. They even share titles. So you got unique Auto. When one of your yellow Son Gohan future cards is KO'd by an opponent's attack or removed from your battle area by one of their skills, play up to 1 yellow Trunks future with an energy cost of 3 from your deck on top of this card, then shuffle your deck. So the other Gohan gets this guy, but then if the Gohan dies, he's able to level up to his Super Saiyan form, which you'll see later. Now you've got SS Sun Gohan, Desperate Last Stand. He's got blocker, he's a 2-drop. So this is the guy that on turn 2 you put down and just know that as a 10k, chances are if somebody swings, you're gonna awaken. Auto, if your leader card is a yellow Sun Gohan future card, when this card is removed from your battle area by an opponent's skill or activates its blocker skill, play up to 1 Trunks future card with an energy cost of 1 from your deck and then shuffle your deck. So this is the neat part. This means you don't even need to play the 1-drop Goku or Gohan to set up the chain. You can activate blocker, activate this guy's ability, bring the 1-drop Trunks to the board, and then after bringing the 1-drop Trunks to the board, you were then able to just flop out, you know, the 3 once this guy dies from blocking. And mind you, you're going to awaken the same turn. So this is that turn 2 awakening. You play this guy, you pass. If your opponent swings, you are going to block, bring out your 1-drop Trunks. This guy's gonna die. You're gonna bring out the 3-drop Trunks. You're gonna awaken. All this shenanigans is gonna happen. So explosive turn 2 awakening seem to be the theme for Supreme Rivalry. Next, you've got Super Saiyan Son Goku. The hero returns. Auto, if this card is played, choose up to 1 card, or choose this card and up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, an energy cost of 3 or less, and send them to their owner's wharfs. At the end of the turn, negate the skills of all cards sent to wars by this skill in this turn, and play them to their owner's battle areas. At a battle, if you have a yellow Trunks future card with an energy cost of 3 or more in play, when this card is, or play this card from your hand, and then you can't play copies of this card for the turn. So that's pretty cool. Your opponent can swing and you can just bring this guy out and just, yeah, X it out. That's actually very neat. Now you've got SS Son Goku, Trusted Ally. Auto, when this card is played, choose up to 1 of your mono yellow Trunks future cards, an energy cost of 3 or less in rest mode, switch to active mode. Activate battle, yellow, if you have a yellow Trunks future card with an energy cost of 3 or more in play this card from your hand and you can't play copies of this card for the turn. Alright, we're gonna go directly into SS Vegeta Trusted Ally, unique and critical. That's actually pretty hot as well. When this card is played, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost of 3 or less in rest mode, and KO it. Activate battle, yellow. If you have a yellow Trunks future, with energy cost of 3 or more in play, you can play this card from your hand. You can't play copies of this card for the turn. So it's very interesting. Both these cards are free cards provided you have the 3-drop, which is pretty much going to be brought out by your awakening turn. Next on the list, Bulma, Hope for a Better Future. This is that super combo with that stupid effect that I cannot for the life of me get behind. If you find a better use for it, please let me know because I'm not seeing it. Moving past that, you've got Piccolo, Trusted Ally, Deflect and Blocker. When this card is played from your hand, choose up to 1 yellow Son Gohan Childhood or Son Gohan Future with an energy cost of 2 or less in your deck or hand. Then play it. Then shuffle your deck if you look through it. Now this guy is interesting because he's a bridge. He can be played in this deck. He can be played, I believe, in yellow skill as Gohan. I'm not quite sure. You can definitely play it in other decks though. So I do kind of like the fact that this dude is going to allow you to, he's not just pigeonholed to 1 archetype. But other than that, he is a 3-drop, and yes, he's got Deflect, but he's got Blocker too. When you have Blocker, you kind of want Barrier as your other thing. So it's just kind of weird. This guy is, he's a little high costed, and I don't think he does enough to warrant fitting 3 energy on a play. Next, you got Super Saiyan Trunks to Change the Future. This is the guy that all these cards have been referencing. Barrier and Blocker, the magic combination. Evolve for 1 yellow on a Trunks future, but you can get it out for free a lot of times. Activate main 2 yellow. If your leader card is yellow, Sun Gohan future, and you have 4 or more mono yellow energy, choose up to 1 mono yellow Trunks future card with an energy cost of 8 in your hand. Play it on top of this card in active mode. You can't activate the activate main skill on the copy of this card for the turn. Okay, very, very cool. But one thing that kind of hurts is that it requires it to be in your hand. So you still have to see the Trunks. You just can't fetch it from the deck. So let that be known. But on his front side, that is pretty interesting. The fact that he has Barrier and Blocker is going to be big. Now, this guy right here, Trunks, Might Born of Hope. Double Strike, Barrier, Dual Attack, and Blocker. That's a whole lot. Blocker and Barrier is already strong enough, but Dual Attack, Double Strike, this dude can potentially do 4 damage in 1 turn. He's a 30k body, there's nothing to scoff at. Or he can just do 2 damage and then, or pressure, and then just hang back to block. But he's an Evolve 4 on Trunks feature, but as you saw, there are ways to cheat him out. Activate main once per turn. If this card is in rest mode, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and up to 1 of their energy in rest mode, and the chosen cards cannot be switched to active mode until the end of your opponent's next turn. This is very, 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 very strong because you do this on your turn, and you don't have to swing twice. You can swing once, do this, keep them unblocked, or keep them on tap. You can swing twice and then just do it. There's a lot to say about this card. Or you can swing once and then cut off their ability to counter, so they'll have to counter you on the first go. And then you're still gonna be able to do this. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff you can do with this card. And on top of that, there's the way the deck's set up around it. Like Gohan can give this guy, if I'm not mistaken, critical, I think. Yeah, he can give it like critical and plus 5,000 power, making a 3,500 critical swing with double strike. Like, I can't explain it. This is a boss card. This is what a boss card should feel like. Moving past that, we've got the SS Trunks altering the future. He doesn't really feel like he's very synergistic with the deck, but he does have a very powerful, very powerful effect. Dual attack on a 20k is nothing to scoff at, so let that be known. But plus 0 activate main, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. If that card has an energy cost of 4 or less, negate its skills for the turn and KO it. That's already solid removal, especially in this format where things are either cheap or they're cheated out. But the other one, activate main, draw 1 card, choose all of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and KO them. That's devastating. That could be very devastating. And board wipes in yellow are something we necessarily haven't had before, if I'm not mistaken. Now, you got the counter card, the future's in your hand, counter attack, negate the attack, and then activate battle, choose this card in your drop area, and 1 card in your hand, and send them to the warp. Choose up to 1 of your mono yellow Trunks future cards, and it can be KO'd by your opponent's attacks for the turn. So in certain cases, I mean, you're gonna be able to hit a blocker and know that blocker is gonna live. There's a lot of good things that come out of this card, but with things like Time Magic and Nimbus, I'm not sure if this makes the cut for the removal suite. The next last card is not necessarily specific to the archetype, but it's really neat, and I can't wait to go over the SPR video. Counterattack, negate the attack. Permanent, if you have 1 or more mono yellow energy in active mode, you can activate this card's activate battle skill from your hand without paying its energy cost. Activate battle, if your leader card is a mono yellow, draw 1 card, then choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards and switch it to rest mode. You can activate the activate battle skill on this card for the turn. So this is actually really cool because just because it's an activate battle, you can swing, right? Or they can swing, and you can counter this attack, stops it. They can swing again, and it kind of forces your opponent into lines they wouldn't normally do. Normally you might want to go further up and up so that you can assure as many attacks get there as possible. But when somebody counters with this card, you can't swing with a non-valid battle card because they will just activate battle this, combo out of your non-valid, and tap your valid. So this is a very interesting card, and I can't wait to see how people use it. And the fact that the activate battle can be used for free in a deck like Mecha Frieza that can't combo very high, I think there's a lot to say about this card in general. So when it comes down to it, I do feel like this is not a Gohan deck, this is a Trunks deck, but I do like how Trunks goes up the ladder, and I think it's like actual Flavor Town, because it's all about the pain of loss and losing Gohan for Trunks to reach his new heights, and I think that's pretty cool. The cards are kind of straightforward. There's not really terribly too much to go into. Might do a workshop on it later, closer to when the set releases or slightly after. But yeah, that is my video on the yellow Gohan deck. And let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this pile of cards, because I definitely think it can be fun, but I'm always weary about things only, you know, going through and touching a single boss monster, because I just feel like that's very easy for things to get run over. Like, yes, there's not a gajillion things that punch through barrier, but oh my gosh, when your opponent does punch through barrier and you're out here looking at nothing, like you have nothing because your Trunks got taken offline, that's gonna be rough. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, think about hitting that subscribe button, that like button, comment down with your own thoughts, and I will see you guys the next time you decide to join Never Sex. Later.